Hi, I'm Bart Hanson, the owner and operator of CrushLivePoker.com. The following hand comes from our call-in show that we record at 4:45 p.m. Pacific Time every Monday. If you want to call in your hand, check out the phone number in the description.
Okay, 2-5, 600 effective.
Okay, yep.
Hero opens hijack 20 with 10s.
Okay, so hijack to 20 at Borgata with 10-10. Okay, yep.
Button and big blind call.
And this is a 1,000 cap game, so everyone's sort of short in this hand? Is that what it is?
No, just the main villain is 600. I cover.
Okay, button and big. And where is the main villain? Button, big blind call.
Main villain is the big blind.
Okay.
60 in the middle.
Yep.
Flop comes 10, king, 8, rainbow.
King 10-8 rainbow. So you've got a late position type of open versus the button and the big blind, and obviously you flop middle set, so this is a pretty good hand for you, right? King 10-8 rainbow. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Big blind checks.
Yep.
I bet half pot 30.
Okay.
And big blind calls.
So button folds in between, right?
Button folds.
Okay.
Right.
Yep.
Do you think that should be bigger there?
On a rainbow board, I mean, you could go to, this type of board, I feel like, see, when we were talking about small sizing and stuff, this isn't the type of board that I would really go all that small, like as opposed to like 5-5 deuce or something like this. I feel like this hits a lot of hands. A lot of people will play offsuit broadways too, especially when you're a late position raiser as well.
Right.
So they're going to defend. So yeah, I may have leaned towards going 40 or 45. I mean, it's rainbow board, so I definitely think a larger sizing on a board like this is probably warranted for value.
Yeah,
You're sort of in between. Yeah.
After the hand, I thought I started out a little bit on the small side.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now there's 120
Okay.
in the middle.
Yep.
And turn is an offsuit jack.
Offsuit jack. Okay.
Big blind checks.
Okay.
Hero bets 75.
Mm-hmm.
Could have been a little bigger, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I would start to think like here that jack is sort of very good for us in the sense that it's just going to connect with so many hands. I mean, occasionally the jack is going to obviously have you beat if he has 7-9 or queen-9, but when you start to think about the types of hands that somebody's going to call a king 10-8 board with, you know, would you say that the jack helps them or hurts them? It almost always helps them, right? Like in some way. So I probably would have bet 40 or 45 on the flop, which would have led to a pot of about 150, and then probably followed up with like 110 or 120. Here with the pot being 120, yeah, I might be at 90. I mean, these are very, very small types of things, but obviously they can start to exponentially shape the size of the pot, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
After I bet 75, the villain then raises to 150.
So a min raise?
Yes.
Wow, that's kind of interesting. So if you call, he's going to have about what, $400 left or 450 or something like that?
Yeah, just a smidgen over 400.
Yeah, that's really interesting because I mean, he could have queen 9, he could have ace queen, he could have 7-9. I could also see him, depending on how bad he is, thinking that like a hand like jack 10 is the nut. I mean, not the nuts, but like, oh, I've got two pair, king jack, jack 10, something like that. And I feel like, okay, and I think I've done hands like this maybe with you before, Dave. I feel like, all right, well, we've got a strong hand, but we don't want to go nuts right now. And we can sort of determine the opponent's hand strength by what happens on the river and also how he reacts to the river too, because he will have some nut hands here. So we can't just be like, oh, well, we'll just get it in here, and if he's got the nuts, so be it. I feel like we can use more info. Plus, there's also another card to come here too, as well, that can change a lot of things. It can obviously pair the board where you get it all in, or it can bring a one-liner out, and then you can decide what to do as well, you know?
Okay. Yeah, I couldn't decide on raising or calling, of course. Folding was not an option.
Right. So I assume you called?
Yeah, I did. And I thought, well, if we were twice as deep,
if
we started the hand with 2K each, would that have made a difference on this turn play?
I don't think so. I mean, I think you have to protect your stack. Um, Unless you were like, I'm gonna three bet fold or something like if he jams. I mean, that's kind of out from left field. It's something that's not you don't usually do, but it's sort of weird sizing. But I think that I would probably just always kind of call here. You know.
Okay. I figured that the combos he probably has about as many two pair as he does straights. I don't think he would be calling. Maybe he would on the lower straight. I don't think he'd be clicking that back for fear of ace queen. Maybe I don't know. But
Well,
anyway,
7-9. I mean, 7-9's also out there too, which is open ended. There are three straights out there, right? There's two gut shots, and then there's also 7-9. But I mean, yeah, he might have more two pairs, but is he always going to be raising two pair? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he's going to be more apt to be raising straight on the turn, anyways.
So on the turn, I'm hoping he has two pair, right?
I mean, I would say so. And then I was gonna say like, you kind of gauge, what the river is, how he reacts to it, and also his bet sizing. But this is gonna be a little bit awkward because he's obviously not that deep. So what's the river here?
River is a king.
So the river is, oops, let's see here. River is a king. All right. So you're looking at a totally rainbow board here, right? You said. So now you make a full house, but obviously I guess there's an off possibility that he might have, King Jack?
Jack.
Or he was slow playing something crazy like King 10 or 10-8 to check raise turn, which seems a little bit unlikely. He's got, 450 left, and the pot has 420 in it, so it's about a pot size bet.
Right, about a pot size bet.
Okay, so what does he do?
He leads 200.
He leads 200. I would just put him in. I think that there are way more straights here than there are more straights that check raise the turn than I just don't think he has many full houses here with kings full. Do you see what I'm saying? Like what full houses? I mean, you lose to kings, you lose to king jack, right? You beat pocket eights, and so that's another hand he could have, right? Pocket eights,
and I blocked two of the tens.
Yeah, king 10 and king 8, like, is he check calling to, like, check raise those hands? Yeah, you block two of the 10s. It just, I think this is queen 9, ace queen, 7-9, way more than it is king jack. I mean, occasionally he'll have king jack, but especially when he only has 200 left and he's going to call 100% of the time, then I would always move in here.
Okay, same question if we had 1,000 behind.
If you had 1,000 behind, I think so. I think you still have to raise. I mean, to be honest with you, like, I think you have to raise. I mean, if you were really, really deep, you could raise to like 800, and then he probably can't even come back over the top with king jack. He probably can't even come back over the top with king jack there. In that, well, excuse me. With yeah, king jack's nuts, but he can only come over the top with king jack. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? Like literally.
That's a raise fold then if deeper.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think it depends on the type, the player, but how does he have kings full here if he's deeper the way that he played this hand? It's just so unlikely. So, I think I'm raising no matter what the depth is. I assume you put him all in?
I did.
Yeah.
And then because of the results, I started questioning on whether I should do the same thing if we were deeper. That's the phone call.
Yeah.
He did have king jack, which is fine. It's part of the range.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if that is a raise on the river if we were, more behind.
I think it also depends on the player type, the player too, as well. Like if you're up against a good player that you think is not going to call you with a straight, and also too, somebody pointed out in the chat here that some people will 3-bet ace queen here too, right? Yeah. And that's true. I just don't know. I mean, the small sizing is indicative of two pair, so obviously, he can have king jack. But I feel like it's also queen 9, and it's also if he's gonna check raise king jack on the turn, why wouldn't he check raise 7-9, queen 9, and ace queen on the turn? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay. And if he's calling all those combos, Um, maybe not 7-9 offsuit, but there
I
are
think
more combos of those hands because they're not on the board.
yeah, he's likely calling all his king jacks and ace
Sure,
queen pre-flop, but he's probably not only calling the suited, 7 9s.
seven
So he'll
nines and
still have a
queen
lot more
nine.
of the,
Yeah, I mean, so there's 8 combos total, 7-9 and queen nine, and you know, of king jack. There's, I guess, 6 combos of king jack, and then there's 16 combos of ace queen, and even if he
right.
three bets half of those, now there's 8, so there's 16 combos of straights and 6 combos of king jack. You start to
He
see
might
that I
even
just,
have a few king queen in there to raise the turn.
yeah,
Not all of
maybe,
his.
maybe. Or what about pocket eights too? I still think pocket eights is a hand that plays this way as well, which you beat. So I don't think you did anything wrong.
Okay.
All right,
Thanks again.
you got it. All right, thanks, Dave, for the call. Hey guys, if you like what you've seen here, please click on the subscribe button and you'll get notified every time we put up a new video. And if you want to check out crushlivepoker.com for the first month free, use the code YTA100. Click on the link right there.